The Jamaica Labour Party ended its 30-year political drought in the flourishing Portland Eastern constituency after Daryl Vaz defeated the People's National Party Damien Crawford in a hotly contested by-election in April of last year. The Eastern Portland seat became vacant following the murder of Member of Parliament Dr. Linvale Bloomfield in February of the same year. Action Ann created history by becoming the first woman Member of Parliament for the constituency since its establishment. Mrs. Vaz polled 9,917 votes to the PNP's Damien Crawford's 9,611 votes. The voter turnout was 53.7%. Her margin was 3,000 more than the JLP's 2016 candidate, Darren Woods' 6,330. With Daryl Vaz, her husband, being the MP for neighboring West Portland, the two-seat parish is now being represented in one household. Today in our show, we talk to Anne-Marie Teresa Vaz, mother, wife, and a Member of Parliament for Portland Eastern. Welcome to Women in Politics. I am Kadeen Miss Kitty Hilton. It's a scenic postcard view, and let me tell you, it is the envy of everyone in the world. This is the parish of Portland. It's the nature parish, and I'm the natural girl today. And the lady with whom I'm about to speak is a natural fit, as she is now the Member of Parliament for Portland Eastern. Her name is Anne-Marie Teresa Vaz. Hello, how are you, Action Ann?
I'm very, very happy to have you all here.
No, listen, do you just have this beautiful backdrop every day?
Well, this helps me to prepare after a hard day, and I come here.
Yes.
I'm refreshed and ready to get up to go and work for another day.
Action Ann is your name in the streets. You've become loved and known by the people of Portland Eastern. But before you were in Portland, you were in another parish in the beautiful island of Jamaica, Manchester, Duff House. Talk to me about growing up in Duff House in Manchester.
Well, I was a tomboy growing up. Handcart, bird shooting, hiking, all the things that I was never a girly girl growing up.
Yes.
In the farm, on the farm, tying out the goats, I was a tomboy.
Yes.
No makeup, no dollies. Slingshot. I actually only
You fly
had
kite?
set gum stick up in the bushes for birds.
Yes.
That was the kind of life I grew up with. We never had anything, so our nature would have to be our playground.
Yes.
Because we never had money to buy toys or anything. So
you came from humble beginnings.
I grew up in a dirt house in Duff House.
Wow.
I grew up without my biological mother and father, and grew up in a loving environment where my grandmother, who took me from I was 6 months old, raised all the children in the district with us in the house.
Yes.
It's not until I was older that I realized that you were not
Your sister,
blood
brother, blood
relative,
yes.
right? So that has made me set the foundation for me that blood has nothing to do with a family. A family is a group of people who want the best and will bring out the best in each other. And it prepared me for my marriage, where I inherited 2 more children.
Yes.
And so it was seamless. I've never had a problem with our children in our marriage, because I grew up seeing that we take care of each other. Whoever was in need, my grandmother's house was open all the time.
Yes.
The front door never closed until we were going to sleep, and I have adopted that same policy. We don't eat when people are gone.
Yes.
When dinner time comes, if it's 100 people in the house, the little pot of food going to share for 100.
So talk to me about growing up in Duff House with your grandmother, Miss Eva of blessed memory.
Well, my grandmother, what I've learned is that a person does not need more than one single solitary human being that believes fully in them and love them
Yes.
unconditionally.
Yes.
And when she loved me unconditionally and thought that I was a princess and that the world was mine.
Yes.
And therefore, I just looked around the world and knew that whatever I wanted in life, I could achieve it. She was so kind and loving. It was the house that we were a little more fortunate. We had a fridge that used kerosene oil. So everybody...
What year was that, Anne-Marie? Fridge where you used kerosene oil?
I never grew up with electricity until I was in fifth form.
Wow.
I didn't get electricity until I was in fifth form. That was what, 17 years? Iron was the iron that you put in the fire. Kerosene oil in the fridge.
Yes.
But we had a little fridge and everybody would bring their medicine there. And my grandmother would read and say, come back at 12 o'clock for your dose.
Yes. So hold on. So people seeing this femininity and seeing this sophistication, you're a grassroots girl.
Fully.
Fully grassroots.
And
so is that why you can just adapt to your constituents now?
Because I believe that everything in my life prepared me for this. I know what poverty is. I know what lack of basic amenities are. So basic that I can't even speak about them. And so you can't tell me about poverty. You can't tell me anything that I have not experienced growing up.
Yes.
And that has driven me to, because I've achieved so much, I want somebody else to have the opportunity
to do the same. So walk me through now, going to school, which schools you attended.
So I went to Bull Savannah.
Yes.
Basic school and primary school. Let me tell you, and then I went to Hampton High School.
Yes.
Let me tell you, I used to walk 3 miles in the dark at 4 a.m. I wake up because I had to reach up Bull Savannah at 6 o'clock to get the bus to go to Hampton.
Yes.
I used to walk with it was a tunic with a blouse underneath. I used to walk with the blouse in my hand because I didn't want to sweat it up. It was dark, there was no house. And then I go in the bushes, put on my uniform just when I get to the end where there were a few houses. That was my life. I come home, we only have 1 sweet potato to eat, and I go on to my bed. If we have gungo, peas, we drink gungo pea soup for breakfast, lunch, and dinner until it was finished. We used to call gungo pea soup round the clock.
Yes.
What for dinner? Round the clock.
Yes.
Round the clock. We raised chicken and we would keep back one after the sale.
Yes.
On a Sunday, we would have the chicken.
So your stint in politics is not your first job. You've been a flight attendant. Tell me about that, you know.
And I'll tell you something about that. So coming from the country, I remember when I moved to Kingston at 17. Miss Kitty, could I open my eyes? The lights in Kingston nearly drive me insane.
Yes,
right?
Because you're used to that dark
I'm used to the dark. So when I got the opportunity to become a flight attendant, because when I used to be in the country, you know, I dream big, you know. I could write a book about my dreams.
Yes.
I used to think about all the places, and I read a lot. All the places that I wanted to see, and I chose to become a flight attendant because I wanted to go and see the
world. And where are some of the most exotic places you've been?
I've been to LA, I've been all over the Caribbean and Canada.
And which airline was this, by the way?
Air Jamaica.
Oh, very well. Soaring to new heights.
Yes. When I loved LA, I loved the traveling. I love the traveling because I wanted to see the world, and I still today, that's one of the things that we like to do. We like to travel all over the world to see different places. So, having been a flight attendant and being on call 24 hours a day prepared me for now to be able to move from Portland to Kingston to Parliament and come back seamlessly,
effortlessly.
Everything in your life, no matter good or bad, prepares you for the next journey.
So, where and when did you meet Daryl Vaz? And when did you fall in love with him?
I walked into a room and I saw him talking to someone on the chair, and I saw when his mouth dropped open. And I was like, oh God, please. And then when I was leaving, he asked me for his phone number. And I gave it to him, and when I gave it to him, I said, Lord, why do I always give men my phone number that asks, and I really don't want him to call me?
Yes.
Well, before I drive off, the man was calling me. Then I ended up in the hospital. He sent his brother to look. My boyfriend was there, and he said, that's no.
So you had a boyfriend when you met him. So Daryl totally just broke for him foot.
Him say, That come back, brother said, don't go. He said, who? He said, that's not a competition. And let me tell you something. I did not stand a chance. The man laid on like
White on rice.
I didn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
I've never experienced anything like it.
What made you fall in love with him?
You know, I remember the moment when they say you fall in love with somebody. It was at a Bubbles bar up in Irish Town, and I just felt his eyes looking on me. I felt his eyes on me, and when I look up, it was him.
Yes.
And I feel my belly bottom drop out. You know, when them say you fall in love, it just drop out. You know, I didn't know him, but I knew his spirit.
Yes.
And knew what he stood for, and the way he interacted with my children, because that was the most critical thing for me. No matter how much I love a man, if he wasn't a good father and could be a good role model as a father for my children, it wouldn't work. And he is an exceptional father and an exceptional husband. I can't even tell you how I love out with him.
So, well, him said just the other day on Twitter, him love you like cook food, right? So you two are like just 16-year-olds in love.
I was stunned when people thought it was strange and asking me if Daryl wanted another seat when he was supporting me publicly during the by-election. And I was like, what are you doing with a man if it's not to support you?
Yes.
Women were, everybody was astonished about the support. And for me, what would I be doing with a partner who didn't support me and my dreams?
Did you go to him with the idea to enter politics, or did he put it to you?
The people of East Portland started to call for me. I did a poll to see if there was any merit to it.
Yes.
It showed that there was a 53% chance what people wanting me to come to run. When I made the decision, I went to my grandmother. And she said, Nana, me just so proud of you. And that sealed it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if my grandmother said no, I wouldn't be sitting here.
Yes.
Daryl was against it completely, and my
Yes.
children.
Yes.
Because he just said, boy, you know, we don't need another politician in the family. And I said to him, you know, I'm going to do this for the people of East Portland. I can tell you something about this journey. Nothing in my life has ever opened up so clear. It's like a runway.
Yes.
This journey that I'm on. Everything, no marriage, no having my children, nothing has ever been so clear. No matter how I tried to look away, the path just came with me.
Yes.
No matter what direction I took, everything, God cleared everything out to the way for me to be sitting here.
So when you went up against Damian Crawford from the People's National Party, did you doubt at any time? Were you afraid? Were you saying, oh my God, you know what, I think I better step back? What was your driving force and what motivated you to continue on that path to becoming the MP?
Let me tell you something about me. It's never about another person. I don't compete with anybody. I compete with myself. Yes. And when I make up my mind to do something, nothing will stand in my way. I didn't look on him as a competition. I looked on what I needed to do to become the Member of Parliament. I didn't focus on anything. I was just focused solely on what I had to do. And I do it with everything in mind. I'm very, very focused.
Do you believe that women are held to a higher standard and people tend to come down harder on women than they do men? How do you deal with that?
Women, we fight so many things. People belittle us. Our opinions matter zero. Mm-hmm. As a woman coming into East Portland, there were men who actually bought into the what was said about Daryl would be running 2 seats.
Yes.
And I knew from the moment I set foot in East Portland that I had to assert myself and never waver from the standards that I had. And that is what has kept me. I know who I am. I am very focused and I know the challenges and I just use, I don't back down.
Yes.
from anything. I
So-
face everything head on.
So the people who may think that you have to go to your husband, Daryl Vaz, who is the Member of Parliament for Western Portland, for advice, or you go to him to ask questions, you're saying today that Anne-Marie Vaz is her own woman, has her own mind, has her own mandate, and is going about her business of being the Member of Parliament for Eastern Portland.
I make my plans and I execute them. We talk together about plans because the thing is, he is one of the most effective MP in Jamaica.
Yes.
What he did in West Portland, and I witnessed it.
Yes.
So he laid the foundation, and so I knew it would take hard work.
Yes.
But as to what direction or anything like that, I am my own person and I make my own plans and execute it. And that's a part of being a woman. When I used to walk up and down the hills and valley with Daryl, nobody said to me that I wanted to take over his seat.
Yes.
When he's walking the hills and valley with me, all of a sudden it is
He wants
the
to take over
seat.
your seat.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the kind of bias that we face as women.
Yeah.
We support our men, and that's expected. When a man supports us, we are taken aback. It must be some ulterior motive other than the fact that the man loves you and wants to support you.
You've been in politics vicariously through your husband. How have you been managing the rigors of politics, going into the hills, going into the valleys, talking to the constituents, managing being a wife, manage being a grandma, manage being a woman? How do you, factor all those things in and make it happen?
Let me tell you something. I get so much joy from it, I can't even explain when I get up in the mornings and I put on my uniform.
Yes.
And I hit that street. I remember one time during the by-election, I woke up with a 103-degree fever. I said to them, give me some Panadol, some fever medicine, and give me an hour. And I struggled in my clothes. And as soon as I got on the road, I met this woman who saw me coming and started to cry with her arms open, and I ran into the lady's arms. And we hugged each other. And my energy, I was filled with energy. When I go on the road, I'm filled with enthusiasm. I'm filled with love of the people just motivate me and encourage me. And no matter if they're cussing me, which they cuss me sometimes.
Yes, how you manage your cussing?
I just try to just say to them, say, look here, I'm only in it 1 year.
Yes.
Just give me a little time.
Yes.
I'm coming around to it. My competition, my obstacle, my competition right now is not someone else in politics, it's time. I don't have enough time in the day. If the people see me today and don't see me for another 6 weeks, Lord, I don't see you for how long?
So you have to balance.
And it's not about getting something from me. They just want to see me.
Yes, to feel your presence.
Just to see me.
Well, you have the merit of being the first one to hold this seat and represent Eastern Portland in the House of Parliament since adult suffrage 75 years ago. I know that you had a fear of public speaking. Talk to me about how you overcame that fear to be here now, because being a politician means that you have to speak publicly. How did that happen?
Well, when I made the decision, that was what was the challenge. And for the third time, I made the attempt to go to public speaking. And this time I made up my mind that come hell or high water, I was going to get over it. Also, there was something inside of me. What I needed to say became more important than the fear. So I knew this time that the motivation was 100%. And I publicly did it to keep myself accountable as well. Because that was part of it. If I publicly decide on this journey, I will definitely now have another barrier to do it. And in doing that too, I said to myself, there's one woman who watched my journey and could overcome it. I would have achieved what I set out to do.
Yes.
And it was, well, here we are.
Why should they choose Action Ann in the next general election?
Because, the people of East Portland know me. I've been living down here. I've had a home down here for 18 years. I moved down here permanently in 2018. And the people know me. I don't sell lies or innuendos or propaganda. I don't tear down my competition. They know when I say something that I mean it. They see my actions every single day of life. As the youth say, you don't have to tell me, mama, me see it.
And we definitely see her right here. It's not beautiful speaking and a whole heap of things and a bag of mouth, a action and do that. You're watching Women in Politics with Anne-Marie Teresa Vaz. So, Anne-Marie, we're here at your constituency office for Eastern Portland, and a lot of activities going on outside. I see some young ladies tallying and writing. Talk to us about how do you operate and run the constituency from this location? What goes on here?
Well, I have taken my role as a member of parliament as a full-time job. I have an office that opens Monday to Friday, 9 to 6, some Saturdays as well.
Yes.
I have an office manager, a personal assistant, a project manager, someone in charge of electoral affairs and youth, and we run a secretary, and we run this constituency office just like any business. I always say my budget is $20 million.
Yes.
And I'm going to ensure every last cent of that $20 million is spent to improve
East Portland. So talk to me about, since you've been the MP or sworn in as an MP, what are some of the projects on which you have worked?
Well, we have done several projects. We cleaned up the beach right in the town. We put in a pocket park going up to Titchfield. We have the East Farm Bridge was out from 2015. I agitated and it's now open. The Prime Minister it opened last year and the Prime Minister officially opened it the other day.
Yes.
We have done spent about 8 million in education, 5 from the CDF and about 3 million that I've raised in funds, because education for me is the most critical thing that I could do. Educate my people. Education is key. I believe in that because that's why I'm here today.
So is that why the tertiary fund? Because I know you have a tertiary fund, yes.
Right.
How can your constituents access the tertiary fund?
They just when the time comes, which is now August, we started to give out the school vouchers, and we have a list. We don't need to get new lists because I don't have enough funds to take care, and it's the most heartbreaking thing for me, especially when I have 3 medical students and I'm only able to get 1 or 2 of them school fees paid. Because you're talking about almost $3-4 million for the course just in school fee. Not talking about buying
books,
equipment and the
lunch money and transportation,
Right. One of the recipients, I have now taken him on personally because he is such an honest, hard-working person that I am going to ensure that for the rest of his college 4 years, I have come to him. The others I do based on this year, I give first year, next year I give second year. I try to do it, but my aim is to use at least 8 million out of the CDF and about 3 more million. That's my goal. But I have to work up to it.
Question. How accessible, I know you are representing the Jamaica Labour Party, but you are the Member of Parliament for Portland Eastern. How accessible are you to the constituents or supporters of the People's National Party? Are they welcome to your constituency office?
I don't even want to know who is PNP and JLP.
Yes.
I work based on need. I don't work based on political affiliations. And that's one of the things. I don't know who they are, and I don't want them to be pointed out. Anybody who comes to my office is welcome. I remember a PNP lady came to the office, and I had an assistant at the front, and I said to her, no matter who comes in here, I want their privacy to be respected and no one to say anything. She went to the girl's aunt and told her that the girl came here. I told her that she's relieved of the position.
Yes.
They said to me the lady have 30 people that I would lose their votes. I sent back a message to them and said, if the next person who comes and breaks people's private business outside of here, and they have 500 voters, it's the same treatment.
Action and attack and action to that. We're here in Eastern Portland with the Member of Parliament, the first female to achieve this feat, and she is working assiduously to ensure that when next the general election is called, she is the one that the people of Eastern Portland are looking to.
Let me tell you something. I walk and drive across this constituency to listen to the people. And the cries of the people up here is why we are here. I have to measure the demand, the importance of the project, because all of the road in East Portland for 32 years, nothing was going on with them. So I have to choose, and I choose this because of the demand from my farmers. Farmers are the backbone of Portland. And I am looking out for them with road, fertilizer, anything that I can help them with, because this is their livelihood. This is what we are known for. So I am making sure that we are painting up our bridges so that they are more visible and look pretty. This is the Alligator Church Bridge. And I am just going across the constituency. The next step is that I'm going to get the chain link fence to put on this for safety. Because this shouldn't be like this. Any child walking here can fall over in this bridge. One side, the walking side has it, but this side also needed the two sides.
Bellevue, Nonsuch, Kent, the Rio Grande Valley, this wonderful Alligator Church Bridge, all of which happens here right in Eastern Portland. It is under the watchful eye of the Member of Parliament, Anne-Marie Vaz. She is a woman in politics doing big things and elevating Eastern Portland. We walked, we talked, we listened, and it is her, and she wants to be the Member of Parliament for the next general election. Anne-Marie, action Anne, action to that. Why should Eastern Portland choose you yet again?
Because I've proven to them that beautiful speaking can't put food on table. Beautiful speaking can't build road. Beautiful speaking can't put water in a pipe. Beautiful speaking can't send your picnic to school. Action do that.
Action and right here, Eastern Portland, women in politics. Let me just tell you, it has been so wonderful, and we've seen the work, we've seen what she's doing as a woman in politics. But Anne-Marie, people want to ask you, what is POMS? What you call Daryl POMS? Where the name POMS come from?
Well, let me tell you something. I cannot really actually tell you where it come from. Yeah. All I can tell you is that both of us call each other POMS, and it sums up our relationship.
Okay, so POMS sums up the relationship, and the music in the background sums up the excitement going on in Port Antonio with Anne-Marie Vaz and the work that she is doing. Now, behind us is a mural that was just done. Talk to us about how did it come about and why was it important for you to do this mural?
Every time I drove into Port Antonio, this wall was there, and I said, I have to do something about this wall.
Yes.
Because I believe that your surroundings contribute to your productivity.
True.
And I wanted something to reflect everything. When you look at this mural,
yes,
every single thing that is unique to Portland is right there.
What is
it's
that?
like history.
Yes.
Nanny of the Maroons,
yes,
the only female heroine.
Amen.
The rafting, the jerk Boston jerk,
Yes.
the busso on the rafting, the waterfalls, the breadfruit. Portland
Yes.
have the sweetest breadfruit in Jamaica.
True.
No doubt.
Ah.
No doubt. And the coconut,
Yes.
banana.
Yes.
This is what Portland is known for. So I put it right there as a visual history.
And somebody told
this
me that
area,
it was captured by a local artist as well.
the artist is right there,
Very
right
well.
in that building over there, which is a historic building. So the plan is this will become a park with gazebo, walking park, and benches so that people can sit here, look on the mural. The mural has become a spot for commercials.
Yes, and photographs.
And for photographs.
Yes, photo up, photo time.
Right, and you know the marina is there where the cruise ship comes in, so it's easy for the visitors to come right here and take this
And have
picture.
a keepsake.
Right.
You spoke about the visitors, but I know that you're very concerned about education and educating your constituents.
Well,
your One Jamaica Foundation. Talk to us about that and how did you get that going and what has it accomplished thus far?
I started the One Jamaica Foundation because when I dropped my kids at their school in Kingston,
Yes.
and then I came to Portland and saw the children in the classroom, the disparity between the surroundings at their school and the surroundings of the schools in Portland, I knew I had to do something. Children cannot dream.
Yeah.
Children cannot learn in overcrowded, hot, dark rooms. And the foundation has been doing infrastructure work on a number of schools across Portland for over 6 years.
Yes. What is Anne-Marie Vaz's superpower as a woman in politics?
People believe what I say because I never open my mouth to utter any promise. I don't make promises, I make commitments.
Yes.
And when I say I'm doing something, people don't have to ask. They know that it will be done.
I saw it go.
I saw it go.
And an action do that.
And I action to that. I'm ready to work. I love it. This, people talk about how you work so hard. I don't even feel that this is work, you know, because I enjoy it so much.
Yes.
That it is not work for me.
What do you want Anne-Marie Vaz's legacy to be as the Member of Parliament for Eastern Portland and the representative for the Jamaica Labour Party?
I want to, one of the things that worried me when I came to East Portland was the mood of the people. Nobody had hope. I have brought a renewal of hope. When you have hope, you can dream. And when you have dream and you have a member of parliament who is there to help you to make those dreams come true, that's the synergy that has developed here in East Portland. We are now, they are now, my people are realizing that we can hope again.
Yes.
We can dream.
Yes.
And guess what? We are seeing that those dreams are becoming the reality. They see it every day, a change in the past 1 year and 5 months that they have never seen in East Portland in 32 years. And not only that, I'm accessible. This is where I live. Don't tell me about the water. I experience the water. Don't tell me about the road because I drive on the roads every single day. You just saw a bridge broke away with my van the other day. I am everywhere in the constituency. And this is what I want people to remember me by, is that you, no matter where you're coming from, what education level you have, if you make a commitment to do something, you can do it if you don't let your drawback hold you down. So yes, I have drawbacks, but guess what? I have strengths and I choose to focus on those strengths.
Focus on your strengths, not on the weakness. Don't watch your eyes at the market, watch your profit. Oh, God bless, no man curse. It's not where you come from or which part you go. She's going places as a woman in politics. Right here with me, your fluffy diva, Miss Kitty.
When in Jamaica, I know I can always count on one place to get to where I'm going. I'm able to unlock the true Jamaican experience with budget car rental. There's a car for every mood, taste, and journey I plan to take. Whether it is business or a quick scenic trip around the island, Budget has just what I need at 4 convenient locations. With my busy schedule, being able to book online makes it even more worthwhile. Budget is with me for the long haul.